Welcome everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Just waiting for a few join. Welcome to today's session. Today we are looking at product prime factors. So welcome everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Guten Abend, guten Tag. Ahlan wa sahlan. Konnichiwa. Hello, hola. All right, let's make a start. This is the first question. This is from paper 1, November 2017. This is the first of 7 questions. Press pause and have a go. If you are stuck or when you're done, press play for the answer. So the first thing is write 36 as a product of its prime factors. So product, what does that mean? And prime factors. So product means multiply. And we've got prime numbers. And then we've got factors. So we're looking for prime numbers that are factors and multiplied to give us 36. So our first thing, our step 1 is to remember our primes. Remember primes, prime numbers. So we've got 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and so on. And then step 2, we are looking for 2 numbers that multiply to make the previous term. And then we keep doing this until there is no way of doing that. Keep going until prime numbers, until we have prime numbers. So we've got 36. Let's just rewrite that. 36, what 2 numbers multiplied give me 36? 36 is an even number, ends in 6, so I'm going to go with 2. 2 times 18. 2 is a prime number. Again, 18 is a even number, so I'm going to multiply by 2 again. 2 times what gives me 18? 9. 2 is a prime number, so I'm going to circle it. 9 is not a prime number, so I keep going. 3 times 3. 3 is a prime number, and I circle it. So that is what I have. So my final answer is going to be 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Okay, so that's my final answer. Now, there are many ways to do this question. This part here, our middle part, we can have different working out. So what do I mean by that? Let me give you another example. So if I just get a piece of paper and I have 36, I could have thought of 6 times 6. And 6 is not a prime number, so I keep going. 2 times 3. 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number. 2 times 3. 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number. And when I write this out, 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And you'll notice that the answer is identical to what I got. So the answers are identical, but the working out is different. And you'll notice I also put it in order, numerical order, 2, 2, 3, 3. You don't have to do that, but if you do that, that is nice. So I hope you got the same answer there. All right, so how does product prime or prime factors shape in exams? So here is an analysis from June 2017 all the way to November 2023. You can't get that here. So from June 2017 all the way to November 2023. And you can see it's coming up in paper 1. On one occasion, it came up in paper 2. So you can see this is mainly a paper 1 topic, but it can appear in paper 2, which is a calculator paper. here is the next question. So this is from paper 1, May 2017. This is our second question of 7. We're going to skip this part. So let's go to our main part. So here is our main part. So question 2, this is worth 2 marks. So similar to before, have a go with the question, and when you are done, press pause. Press pause, and when you are done, press play for the answer. Okay, so similar to the last question, 2 steps. So let me read the question. Express 56 as a product of prime factors. So identical wording to the previous question. The difference is that we now have a different number. So similar to before, step 1, remember our primes. Remember prime numbers. And then step 2 is we find factors of the previous number. Find factors. And we stop when we find prime numbers, primes. So my prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, and so on. So I need to remember that. 56, again, it's an even number, so 2 times, it's a non-calculator, so I would split up 56 into 50 and 6. What's half of 50? 25. What's half of 6? 3. Add them together, 28. Okay, so if you couldn't do that in your head, you can just split it up like that. So 2 is a prime number. 28 is 2 times 14. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 is a prime number. 14 is 2 times 7. 2 is a prime number. 7 is a prime number. My final answer is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Times 7, rather. You can see 7, and I just said 3. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. You don't need to write it out as powers, although you could write it out as 2 cubed times 7. But we don't need to do that, so we don't need to stress ourselves about that. Okay, so hopefully you got the same answer. Okay, let's go to our next thing. So here, this is a quote I came across. It always seems impossible until it's done. So this is something said by Nelson Mandela. So whatever target grade you have, whatever grade you're working for, it may seem impossible until it's done. So keep working hard. Let's get those grades that we are aiming for. This question, this is from paper 1 again, May 2020. This is our third question of 7. And press pause, have a go. When you are ready for the answer, you can press play. If you're stuck, you can also press play. Okay, here is question. The next question, it says, write 84 as a product of its prime factors. Identical to the previous question again. Again, we've got a different number, so we've got 84 this time. So same thing as before. Step 1, remember our primes. And step 2 is we keep finding factors until we get to our primes. Okay, so similar to before, so we've got 84. So step 1, my primes are 2, 3, 5, and so on. 84, again, it's an even number, so 2 times 84, 4 divided by 2 is 2, 8 divided by 2 is 4, so nice and easy on this occasion. 2 is a prime number, again, ends in a 2, so we can divide by 2. 2 times 42 divided by 2, so 2 divided by 2 is 1, 4 divided by 2 is 2, 21. 21 is not a prime number. What number multiplied gives me 21? 3 goes in there. 3 times 7 gives me 21. 3 is a prime number. 7 is a prime number. So everything is circled. So now we write it out. 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. Okay. Hope you got the same answer. Let's go to the next question. Okay, so this question is now from paper 1 again, May 2022, question 4 of 7. This is the first question that came up in the exam, but we're not going to be doing that, so we're going to skip it. So question 2 is here. And if you're joining, in the description of the video are questions for you to practice, for you to download. It's the same questions. So here is the next question, question 4 of 7. Press pause and have a go. When you are ready or you're stuck, press play for the answer. Question 2. Write 124 as a product of its prime factors. Again, very identical to the last question. The only difference is our number. So same as before. Step 1, remember our primes. Remember primes. And step 2 is we find factors. And we stop when we get primes. So 100, so my prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, and so on. Okay, 124 is an even number, so I'm going to divide by 2. So 2 times what gives me 124. I can split this if it's a big number, 120 and 4. So I can ignore the 0, that's 12. Half of 12 is 6, so this is 60. Add the 0 back in. Half of 4 is 2, and then add them together, 62. Now, I know some of you are doing this in your head, which is great, but I know some people might be struggling with that. It is a non-calculator paper. 62 is an even number again, so I can divide by 2. It's not a prime. 2 times what? 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, now 31 is a large number. And if I think about it, if I did all my primes, if I kept on going, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 25 is not, 27 is not, 29 is, 31 is another prime number. So this is a large number there. So that would be my prime. So my answer is 2 times 2 times 31. Okay, you can see usually, so far, this is the largest prime number we've come across. Okay, so I hope you got the same answer. If you are here for the first time, remember to subscribe to our channel. We're going to do more live lessons. The next live lesson will be on highest common factor and lowest common multiple. So that will be linked to this. Okay, question number 5 of 7. This is from paper 2. So we are allowed a calculator, June 2023. Press pause and have a go. If you're stuck, then press play for the answer. Again, similar to before, we read the question, write 60 as a product of its prime factors. Identical to the previous questions, the difference is my number has changed. So same thing again, step 1, remember primes. Remember our prime numbers. And then step 2 is we find factors. And we stop at prime numbers. Stop at primes. Okay, so I'm going to start with 60. It's an even number. 2 times what? So I can ignore the 0. 2 times 3 gives me 6. Add the 0 back in. Again, another even number. 2 times what gives me 30? It's 15. 2 is a prime number. 15 is 3 times 5. So 15. 3 is a prime number. 5 is a prime number. Write this out. 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. Okay, I'm ticking them as I go along just to make sure that I don't forget any numbers. Okay, I hope you got that correct as well. Let's go to the next question. And if you're here for the first time, remember to share this with your friends if you're finding these videos useful. Okay, here we are for the next question. This is from Paper 1, November 2023. This is our 6th question out of 7. Press pause and have a go. When you are ready or you're stuck, press play for the answer. Write 156 as a product of its prime factors. Again, identical to the previous question. The difference is that we have a different number. So step 1 again, remember our primes. Step 2, I find factors and I stop at primes. So 2, 3, 5, and so on. 156 is a large number, so it's an even number. So I'm going to do 2 times, 2 is a prime number, 1 goes in. I'm going to split 156 into 150 and 6. So half of 150 is 75. Half of 6 is 3. And again, if you can't do 150 in your head, you could split it up into 150. So here, half of 100 is 50, half of 50 is 25, and that gives you 75. So if you are stuck, just keep simplifying it so it's easier for you. 75 plus 3 is 78. Okay, 78 again is an even number, so I'm going to do 2 times. Again, I'm going to split up 70 and 8. And so half of 70 is 35, half of 8 is 4, and I can add them together, that's 39. Okay, now 2 is a prime number, keep going. 39, if you add the digits, 3 plus 9, 2 doesn't go in, so does 3 go into them? 3 plus 9 gives you 12. Does 3 go into 12? Yes, it does, so this can be divided by 3. If you know your 3 times table, you know that this is 3 times 13. 3 is a prime number, 13 is a prime number. So these are little tricks that we use if we don't know our times table as well. So my final answer is 2 times 2 times 3 times 13. Okay, so hope you got the same answer again. So we are now going to our last question for today's session. Okay, this question, slightly different from before, is worth 3 marks. So be careful before you jump into it. So have a go. This is from paper 1, November 2022. This is our last question for today's session. Have a go. When you're done, or if you're stuck, press pause and have a go. If you're stuck or you're done, press play for the answer. Okay, question 1. Write 500 as a product of powers of its prime factors. So we've got slightly different language to all the other questions. So we've got product of powers. So we have to write our answer as a power. So similar to before, step 1, we do the same thing. Remember our primes. Step 2, we do the same thing as before, which is to find factors, and we stop at primes. And this is where the 3rd mark comes in. Write 500 as a product of powers. Okay, I'm going to leave step 3 so that you do think about it. I'll write it in words. Let's just do this, and then you'll see what the answer will be. So if I remember my primes 2, 3, 7, and so on, 500 is going to be 500. 5 times by 100. 5 is a prime number. 100, I'm going to do 10 times 10. I could have done 2 times 50, but I'm going to go with 10 times 10. 10 is not a prime number. So 10 is made up of 2 times 5. So these are now primes. So I'm going to stop here. This one is still not a prime. So this is again 2 times 5. So I've done my step 2. And you can see here, normally this would be 2 times 2 times 5 times 5 times 5. So I've done all of them. Normally this is what I would have. So step 3 as a product of powers. So I write this as powers. So step 3, write as powers. Okay, so I've got 2 2s, 2 to the power 2 times 5. How many 5s do I have? 1, 2, 3. So it's to the power 3. 5 cubed. 2 squared times 5 cubed. Thank you for joining today's session. Like the video. Take care, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Bye-bye.